What's up everyone, Josh here, back with yet another video for Ohio Fish Rescue. Let me tell you, when it rains, it pours. If you guys watched the live stream of the latest video, you guys know my dad is down and sick and he's not feeling all too well. Although he is getting better, but I walked into the fish room today to find something just very, very disheartening. All right, so let's go ahead and turn around and see what I walked into. I'm walking in, turning on lights, and of course there's some water on the floor. Bam, turn to my left, and there's yet another flood. So last night, after the live stream, I cut them out. I walked through here before, there was no water on the ground. I come out after the live stream, so within that 2-hour stream, something happened out here and it completely flooded the floor. However, it was this side. Come to find out, after probably about 45 minutes of looking, that plug right there, the stingrays somehow managed to knock that plug out, and this water was just pouring out of that 1-inch hole right there, hitting the wall, going down the wall, distributing against the wall, going underneath the pool, around the pool, coming out here, flooding this area. It flooded this whole back area back here, got underneath the filter box, flooded, so I thought maybe it might have been coming from over there. It got this entire floor soaking wet, and once I found that leak, we got it all dried up. Then I went home last night and come back today, and we've got people actually coming over here. I had to move the frog last night too. We found out that top 3 tier over there was a bit too hot for him, so I moved him down here. He is already doing 100 times better, so we'll keep going with that. But over here, we went ahead and rehomed some fish. I completely forgot to film. I told you guys I would start filming. We got rid of the electric blue Jack Dempsey out of here, and we gave that to Jim Sheasley, along with a couple of the fish that were out of here. Some of the cichlids and jewels and stuff like that, and that went ahead to Jim Sheasley. Up here is the tank of Africans that we are keeping. I might end up throwing these guys into the tank. We are going to try the Fahaka in the cichlid tank because she's supposed to be a peaceful puffer, so we shall find out. We have had good luck with them before in the past, but I think that would be a neat feature in the Bellagio tank. And we've got a few other ones up here, like the black spotted eel. We've got the xanthic fire eel, which is in there as well. And then there's some clown loaches, the dolphin, and the Synodontis cats in there. But let's get back to this leak. Oh, I was in the middle of telling you guys something. We picked up some fish, and as he was dropping them off, I discovered the leak. So down here, we got another bowfin, and we got another long-nosed gar. So these guys will be joining our native fish tank. But man, that long-nosed gar is a little beauty. Look at him. Absolute stunner. Both of these guys are on live, so I will have to break them of that. So little bit of time and I'll get that done. But over here, I had to find out where the leak was. This side of the fish room is dry, so I know it wasn't that pond again. Over here, it's like, well, it can only be a couple things. It could be the 1,000, it could be the 4,400. Can't be the 3,000 because it's not, you know, completely blown out and wet. It could be the 550, it could be the 650 dog bone. It's possible that's the 2,200, but unlikely because all of this ground is sort of dry over here. It's a little splashy right through here. There's definitely some splashing going on here. You can see wetness across the back of the 550. So I ruled out the 750 back here in the tortoise enclosure. You can see it got a little wet in that corner, so I know that corner's wet by the 3,000. It's possible it could be that corner of the 3,000, but highly unlikely. After I did some investigation, I come to find out that the 550 is leaking. Look at that. She's just pouring out onto the floor. Beautiful, wonderful, right? And that is a pretty decent sized leak right there. That is just pouring out onto the floor. So I'm going to have to fix this. I will show you guys how I'm going to do it. Basically, I'm just going to cut out the silicone and I'm going to patch this under water. That's how we always patch these gas tanks. But yeah, just a lovely sight to walk into on your Saturday morning. So yeah, let me get to do it, guys, and I'll bring you back with an update as to how I get this patch done. This could have been a lot more detrimental, and this tank could have been empty, and I could have lost all of my rays in this tank, but luckily it was just a mess on the floor. All right, so while I have this tank lowered down to fix that back corner, I went ahead and fixed this front corner that was leaking as well. I cut out the old silicone. It started shooting out because there was a leak on the bottom of the tank, so I went and hurried up and fixed it. So the idea here is when you put this silicone that can adhere to wet surfaces and cure under water, you go ahead and put it on in a nice thick bead like you do normal silicone, and then you want to take out and smear the sides. It does not look the greatest because you can't really tape the sides and make it all look pretty, but in a pinch it does make the tank watertight to where you can go ahead and use it for a little bit more time. But we've got Bob over here. He came to pick up some fish. He's helping me fix this tank while he's here. So we're almost done draining it, and I will show you guys how I fix the back corner because I can take a little bit more time with that. So with glass, you can't do this with any other type of tank, glass only. I always take a Brillo pad and I scrub the corner to scrub any sort of biofilm or algae off. I've already done it in this case. And we're going to go ahead, this was drying as it was draining. So now what I have to do, I'm going to throw that over there out the way, clean this off the tip so it's a nice fresh tip. Alright, now I was telling you guys how this can't adhere underwater. So what I'm going to do here, don't catch the net, I take my silicone gun, and I basically run it across the seam. I do a nice pretty bead of silicone. Take it out as far as I want on each side. In this case, I'm going probably about 4 inches. You want to go slow because it will just pull right off underwater. I'll show you what to do. See, just like that, pulls right off. Don't want to do that. So I'm going to redo that real quick. This is basically just placing the silicone in place to allow you to do your patch. Alright, now up the corner, do a little bit nicer. Thing's about to hit here. Okay. Now I'm not going for prettiness because this isn't a dry seal. I know it's not going to last a long time, but it should last us long enough. Okay. So when you have a problem, you can go ahead and just, get to it real quick and get it done. So what I'm doing here, I'm oozing it into the seam, and then I take and I smear it to each side. So now this side I'm smearing it up towards the top. This is giving it a little bit more surface area to grab onto. And also making sure you've got all the edges sealed. So now underwater, once you do this one time, you want to leave it go. You don't want to keep touching it because the more you play with it, the more it's going to come unstuck and it's not going to work. So now I'm working it up the sides. Take the excess, you don't want it in there. Bam. I'll come up each side. Like I said, it's not going to look too pretty, but it is going to get the job done. Now that you've gone up one side, eliminate the top. And this is why I absolutely do not like these Dutch aquarium systems. They are awful when it comes to leaking because they leak whenever somebody leans on it or touches it the wrong way. A fish might smack into the side of the glass. And you're not going to want to drain the tank out, reseal the whole thing properly every time that happens. So, like me, you kind of improvise, overcome, and adapt. So this is what we have to do. And these tanks have done us well for a long time. I can go back and smooth out the seam just a little bit. Like I said, doesn't look pretty, but it gets the job done. Okay, so this tank is now filling back up. I'm going to go ahead and let it fill slowly. So the problem area where it was leaking has enough time to dry. It's already skinned over. But Bob originally came here to pick up some fish. So today he's going to be taking home, he wants these little shabunkin in here. He's a little long fin shabunkin back here. There he goes. Cute little guy. And he wants to take the larger goldfish. He's got a little goldfish pond in his basement. So he's going to go ahead and take those. And then for his grandson, he's starting up a 65. Well, it's already started, but he's putting some fish in it for him. I'm going to go ahead and give him the brighter colored cichlids and stuff. He wants the little red jewel, that cute little upside down cat there. And he basically just wants to give him some color and activity, something for his grandson to go ahead and look at while he visits Grandpa. Alright, let's go ahead and start netting these guys out. Alright, so we got all the fish caught out. He went ahead and took all of the goldfish. Went ahead and took a couple of the African cichlids. He's got some of the yellow labs. There's the orange mangoes. And a couple of these smaller guys that I didn't know what they were when they cut them in. And a couple of the blue African cichlids. There we go. I definitely got some nice fish, so we'll be heading home now. And we just had Jim Sheasley come earlier and take a bunch of those fish that I was telling you guys about. You can see that both fins out right now. There we go, looking great. And the gars right there, they're kind of settling in nicely and looking great. So Bob just pointed something out, and I'm kind of agreeing here, but this Weeksy is super onto this ornate bicher, and they're doing this little dance. I don't know how bichers breed, but I think that might be some breeding behavior there, or this guy's just having a seizure or something, and we're watching him take his last breaths. But he's been following him around the tank for quite some time. I don't know. Yeah, he just keeps tapping the side of that other bicher over there. That's kind of neat. Followed her up into the plant on the backside. Just following her all around the tank. So I don't know how bichers breed, or what that looks like. If there's anybody who knows more about it, please let me know in the comments if you think this might be some spawning behavior. I think that's pretty neat there. Alright, the tank is filling back up. I'm going to get this filled back up, get the pumps back on. The test free averted for now. But you know what? This doesn't mean we are out of the ball game, because that is not a forever fix. So what needs to happen is this tank needs drained, dried out, and fixed properly in that back corner. And then we should be good to go. We keep patching these corners and they keep failing. One of these times we're going to actually come out here and the corner is going to be popped apart, no water in the tank, and the fish will be dead. That is why I wanted to go ahead and get that 1,000 and 750 in here, but my dad seems to be against that one, so we shall see. Who knows, but we got lots more work coming your guys' way. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more crazy adventures with the Ohio Fish Rescue, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, stay fishy, my friends.